Welcome new teachers to my talk on using effective pedagogical practices in teaching the whole child. Your holistic approach to teaching should consider your students' well-being and pastoral care, the use of effective teaching practices for good academic outcomes, and effective use of your classroom resources. Part of being a good teacher is considering the social, emotional, ethical and academic education of your students. Under excellent pastoral care, each of your students should grow in knowledge and wisdom and develop confidence in the fact that they are special people who can change their world for the better. By adopting a whole school approach to pastoral care, we can ensure an attitude and environment that supports our students' physical and emotional well-being. This approach can be achieved by making well-being the core of your pedagogical practice, by building a positive culture within your school, by nurturing positive relationships and behaviours, by giving your students a voice, by promoting teacher efficacy and professional integrity, and by cultivating a love of learning. It is essential in order for your students to flourish that you teach both the skills of well-being and the skills of achievement. Imagine positive education, where students feel important and are listened to because they have you in their lives, believing they are worth it. Don't ever underestimate that personal connection between you and your students. As a positive role model in your students' lives, you can expect that they will want to be like you and as such may imitate you. We can draw upon social cognitivist theory to emphasise the value of your modelling appropriate behaviours, language, skills and attitudes in your classroom. Make sure to consider your students' different learning needs, social backgrounds, cultural perspectives and personal interests when planning your learning program. Realise that one of the most powerful teaching strategies you can employ in your classroom is connecting new learning to what your students already know and understand. Keep in mind that the information your students bring to the classroom will have an impact on their success in learning, and when writing your lesson plans, always ask yourself, what do my students already know and understand that will be helpful in completing the given task? Your students will need to be motivated in order to engage with the learning material you provide. They will decide very quickly whether they are going to engage in the learning process or simply dismiss it as not important. Remember, we pay attention to things that we deem important. So students are more likely to attend to the learning if it has relevance. Ask yourself, will it help them reach a personal goal? Will they gain a skill they'll need or want to use? Make sure to engage your students with rich tasks that link the learning to a variety of aspects of real life. Appreciate the importance of being connected to your community, the parent community, the school community, the local community and any communities of practice that you may be a member of. Make use of these communities by planning for your students to interact with them through excursions, the internet, guest speakers and any other forums available to you. Make sure your learning environment promotes independence, interdependence and self-motivation. Make the most of your classroom space. Turn it into a rich learning environment. Fill it with posters. Utilise the resources the art department and school library offer. Display your students' work. Encourage them to be proud of what they've achieved. If you have the space, organise your classroom in a manner that suits your teaching style. Consider, will you require a designated space for circle time? Will you be reading stories in the classroom or will you head out to the library? Make sure your layout encourages group work when needed and allows for full participation in class discussion. Utilise popular media to introduce new concepts. Capitalise on students' experience of a technology-rich world and integrate that into learning. Remember, we use technology in almost all aspects of our lives. It's only natural that our students should want to be using it in almost all aspects of their education. Finally, do not underestimate your importance. Take pride in knowing you are the most valuable resource your students have in their classroom. Make sure you are available to them, both academically and emotionally. Thank you for your time.